All right, so coming to our breath. Sitting up really tall, drawing the shoulders back, down and away, and taking some big inhales and big exhales. If you're comfortable with your eyes closed, close your eyes. If not, just cast your gaze downward. Coming to the breath, slow, steady breath. Noticing as it comes into your body, slowing it down, maybe holding a little bit, retention at the inhale, and then exhale, letting it all go. Continue to breathe and make the breath your awareness. So if thoughts come into your mind, allow them to come, but then let them pass by, just like a cloud would pass through the sky, and use the breath to anchor you back to the present moment. So constantly returning back to the now, using the breath. As we practice our yoga, it's a moving meditation, which means the body moves, the mind will also start to move, but again, let it go. Just keep letting it go, anchor right back to the breath, anchor right back to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sky, inhale. And take a twist to one side or the other, doesn't matter which way you go, just take a twist and breathe here. And then reach back to the sky again and twist off to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling in through the nose, out through the nose. And back up to the sky again. This time interlace your fingers behind your head and fall back. Chest and heart opens. Lift up. Maybe the throat opens too. Really feel a lot of expansion with the inhale. And exhaling, allowing anything that happened today to sort of just melt off of you. And now release the hands onto the knees. Seated cat-cow. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, pull back, round and curl. Inhale, lengthen, sit up. And exhale, round and curl. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, round and curl. And do that a few more times at your pace. Movement with breath. Finding tabletop position, rolling over hands and knees, maybe moving back onto your mat a little bit, tucking your toes. And then inhale, letting the belly drop. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Letting the belly drop a little bit, and then when we exhale, round and curl, tuck the chin to the chest. And let's do a few of those. Inhaling and exhaling. Round and curl. Balancing tabletop. We're going to take the right hand out like you want to shake somebody's hand. I'm going to move back again. And the left foot comes back onto the tiptoe and reach out in both directions. Maybe lift the leg up, reach the arm out, and look down, gaze down. And breathe. Lift it up a little higher, pull the belly up and in. And then release that hand and that foot. Turn back around to the front. Now left hand comes out like you want to shake the hand. Right toes touch down, press back. Beautiful. If you like, lift up the foot, look down, not at me. Keep the length in the neck. Lift it up a little higher, pull the belly up and in. Core cultivation. Breathe. And then release. Floating tabletop, lift the knees off the mat. About 2 inches. Breathe. Feel the belly strong. Now lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Paddle the feet one at a time. Walking the dog. Come up on all 10 tiptoes. Melt the chest back. Hips are high. And then walk the hands back to the feet. Hang in a forward fold. Ragdoll heavy. Hand to elbow. Elbow to hand. Hang. Sway just a little bit from side to side. And then release just the right hand, left hand to hip. And when the left hand comes onto the hip, the right knee bends. So right hand down, right knee bend. Twist and look up towards the sky. Hand can stay here on the hip, can wrap around the back, or reach up to the sky. We breathe. Notice how the shoulders are stacked. Try to stack the shoulders, so really opening the chest here. Release the left hand and bend the left knee, right hand to hip, and we twist the other side. Breathe. Reach hand to sky. Or behind you. And find the breath. Notice how the breath moves slow and steady, and if the breath starts not to be slow and steady, we need to slow down the body. Both hands down, roll nice and easy all the way up to standing with a back bend. And then hands back to heart center. The right knee comes up to your chest, finding balance here. Let's bring the hands up to the sky or out like airplane wings, or even holding on to a wall if you need to. Send the foot to me. Whoops. Feeling the strength of the balance. And the knee comes back in, step down, hands at heart center. Other side, left knee up. Looking at the top of your yoga mat, drawing your knee even higher, curling your toes up. Maybe the hands lift to the sky or out to airplane wings. Send the foot out. Squeeze into the quad. Try not to lean back. Breathe. Bend the knee back down, hands to heart center, stand tall, mountain pose. Inhale, reach to the sky. Interlace the fingers behind your head and fall back, open heart. Breathe. Cactus the arms. More opening in the heart, the shoulders, and the chest. And then reach the hands behind you. Either catch the hands together or reach for the elbows. And then we're going to forward fold. So maybe it's just this tiny little bit, or maybe it's more. Bend the knees if you need to here, and then forward fold, stretching out the shoulders. Try to put the belly on the thighs. Breathe. Gently release the hands out. Walk out to plank pose or tabletop. So we're either going to walk to plank or tabletop. Your choice. Lower down slow and controlled, either on the knees or not, until you get to your belly. And then cobra pose, lift just the chest. Elbows are bent, toes are plugged down. And then exhale, up and over. Downward facing dog. Right leg reaches to the sky. We open hip on hip. Find some space. Breathe, open and close. Knee comes into chest. Foot comes right in between your hands. If it doesn't make it all the way up, scoot it that way. Left hand stays down. If you put an L on the floor, you'll see that's the left. Right hand reaches for a twist. Maybe roll to the outside edges of one or both feet, and then take the hand up. So feeling lots of space, lots of opening, both in the outside edges of the legs and in the shoulder. Breathe. If you want to take a couple of arm circles here, if that feels good, do that. And then both hands down, little quarter turn towards the left to the back of your mat to wide stance fold. Inhale, lengthen, bend the knees as much as you need to here, and then exhale, forward fold, fall heavy. If you'd like, you can take a little bit of alternate leg stretching here, or you can send yourself out for hammock pose, or walk your hands back behind your legs. So really just noticing what feels good in your body. And always coming back to the breath. Noticing if thoughts are coming in and allow them just to dissipate. Turn back to the front of your mat, low lunge. Step back, plank pose or tabletop. And then we're going to lower down, slow and controlled, all the way to your belly again, using the knees or not. And cobra. Elbows stay tucked. And then exhale, press up and over, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches for the sky, open hip on hip. Find space. Knee comes into nose, steps all the way through, in between your hands, low lunge. Remember, help it. If it doesn't make it, the right hand stays down, left hand to hip. Roll to one or both edges of your feet, and then reach the hand up to the sky, and then possibly even more. Beautiful. Finding the breath always through the posture, and letting it guide you. Both hands come down. We take a quarter turn towards the back of our mat, towards the right, wide stance fold. This time, right hand stays down, left hand comes up for a twist. Reach the hand to sky. Now reach it underneath and through, threading it under. Catch this left hand with the L on the right leg and slide the right hand out, and then look up and underneath, finding a twist. If you have more here, you can take a double bind. If not, stay right here. You can even bend into one knee. Again, really feeling the stretch. Release and unwind right back to the sky. And then that left hand comes down to the earth, right hand to hip, right hand to sky twist. Thread it underneath, catch the left leg with the right hand, slide the other hand and look up and underneath. Hi. And find lots of space. Beautiful. And breathe. Unwind again, right hand reaches. And then both hands come down, walk back around to the front of your mat, step back to plank or tabletop. Lower down or take some push-ups, up dog or cobra, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Look toward your hands and make your feet get to the top of your mat. However you like to do that, walk, step, jump, or float to the top. Inhale, lengthen hands to shins or thighs. Look out, exhale, fold again. And inhale, rise to stand, top of your mat. Little back bend, maybe the hands drop in. And then mountain pose, hands to your sides. Beautiful. Take your feet hip distance apart. You're at the top of your mat. And just stay in the moment, right here for a moment. Finding the breath. Maybe placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Noticing if the heart is beating a little faster, noticing how quickly the breath is moving, and try to slow all of that down. Stepping the feet back together. Sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look out. And then walk back to plank pose or just step back to down dog. If you're in the plank, take the vinyasa your way or stay in the down dog, your choice. And the right leg reaches for the sky. We open up hip on hip. If you flip your dog, go ahead and flip your dog. If you want to learn how to flip your dog, stay with me. You're going to look at that foot that's hanging off the left side. And as the foot touches the floor, the right hand reaches for the sky. And then you find a little back bend, flipping your dog. Let's do that again. Unwind, right leg up. Bring it over to the left. And let it tap and lift the right. Flip dog. Unwind again. Send the right foot all the way through. Spin the back heel 45 to tap. And then rise up halfway. Just halfway. And now all the way up, warrior one. Cactus the arms, let the heart open here, or maybe even hands behind opening the heart in the warrior one. sliding into front knee so it's over the ankle, pressing through the outside edge of the back foot. Hands come to tap the floor, step back either to down dog, right there, or vinyasa. Left leg reaches and opens. Look over, see your foot. If you're flipping the dog, this left foot taps the floor and the left hand reaches for sky. I'll do it again. Unwind. Bring it over, over, over. Let it fall. Lift the hand. Flip dog. Breathe. Unwind. Left foot comes through in between the hands and the right heel spins down. We rise just halfway and then all the way. Sinking into front knee, hips are square, pressing through outside edge. Take your hands to cactus or reach. With the breath. Release, touch the earth. Step back either to down dog or the vinyasa. Option to come to knees tabletop or option to take full side plank. The right hand moves to center. We're either opening up on the right hand and right knee, side plank on the knee, or full side plank, both feet stacked or scissored underneath. Take this top hand and reach it. Maybe even lift up the leg. And that can be done with the knee down as well. So either way. Breathe. Plank again. Downward facing dog. Reset the hips and spine. Option here for push-ups if you want to take some more. Go ahead and take push-ups or vinyasa, or just take a child's pose, rest. So this might be a time for you to rest. And anytime you need to rest, child's pose is right here. Knees are as wide as the mat, hips are over the heels, and we're just resting. Or you're working and taking those push-ups. So whatever you need, go ahead and take. We'll meet back in plank or tabletop for the left side. So back to tabletop or back to plank. Left hand moves to center, side plank. You can lift the top leg and get creative. Both hands come down, press back, down dog. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. And then slowly roll to stand with a back bend. And then hands on your hips, take your feet a little wider and take some hip circles in both directions. Really working those hip flexors to get some energy out of those, especially we've been sitting a lot with online school and online work. There we go. Nice. Step your feet together. Another little hip opening pose. This time we're going to do a balancing posture, tree pose. Hands come to heart center. Tent your fingers so that the fingertips are touching but the palms are apart. The shoulders are back and away. And let's just bring that right foot out. So the shape of the tree pose is the hips are open, the knee is out. And this is enough right here. Or we can take the foot and just gently place it right above the ankle below the knee. Or we can bring the foot all the way up into the inner thigh. If you need to hold on, hold on. Remember the knee is open, hips are squared forward. There's a couple of other options here with the foot and the arms. So you can take a half lotus, a full expression. The arms can come up, they can come out. So again, yogi's choice, but let's take about a 10 count here in the tree pose, wherever you find it. So here's the half lotus. Here's the full expression, or bigger expression, I guess, not full, because there's always more. And then this right here is perfectly fine, still opening out the hip. Breathe. Maybe you want to challenge the balance a little bit, moving the arms. And then we find standing mountain pose again. This time let's windshield wiper the arms. Giving your kidneys a little tap here. Just letting energy out of the body. And noticing the breath again. Come to standing at the back of your mat, hands to heart center, tenting the fingertips, the left foot down, knee out. Notice if the hips turn and try to keep them squared forward, so it's a hip opener here. Tree pose on the left side for a 10 count, yogi's choice with the arms and the legs. So maybe it's below or above the knee, but not on the knee joint. Maybe we find tree right here inside the inner thigh. Maybe the hands reach. Maybe we take a full expression of the pose. So whatever feels comfortable for you. Challenging your balance, moving around. And then when you're ready, step back down, shake out those legs. Maybe do a little dance here, shake it up, shake it to the sides, shake it down, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake off the day. Just shake off the day a little bit, shake off your day. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, and come back to stillness now. So standing at the back of your mat, hands can either be down to your sides, or maybe you like them at heart center. Maybe you like to touch your heart, or one on your heart, one on your belly. And again, if you're comfortable with your eyes closed, do that. If not, just sit quietly, staring down gently towards the earth, practicing a moment of gratitude. And maybe start with something really small and work your way up to something really big. Or start right at the top with the biggest thing you're grateful for. And just take a few moments now for gratitude. Working our way back to the front of the mat, hands come back to heart center, right knee to chest. We'll send that foot out. We've done this before, except this time we're going to step right to the center of our mat and let the back leg lift up for warrior three balance. Hands can be at heart center, out like airplane wings, or in front like stick pose, yogi's choice. We'll breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. If you fall, that's okay. Bring the knee back to the chest. And send now the left foot out. Step it forward. Warrior three. Now on the other side. Try to keep the hips squared down. Breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift it higher. 4, 3, 2. Knee back to chest. And step down. Inhale, reach the arms to sky. And exhale, fold down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen, look out. Walk back to plank or tabletop. Press back to down dog or take your vinyasa. Beautiful. Right leg reaches for the sky. Step it all the way through. Spin the back heel, cartwheel, open to warrior two. Pumping warrior once. And then reach the palm and exalt your warrior. So the front knee is bent, and we reach up and back, sinking into front knee lunge. Maybe floating the back hand. Arms come to warrior two, leg is still bent. Pump warrior one more time. And this time, straight leg triangle, reach and hover. So same thing as we just did, except we're tipped forward now and the leg is straight. So if you need to bring the back foot closer, go ahead and do that. And we find this triangle pose. Option to take both hands out for hovering, using the core to hold us here, or holding above or below the knee, or even to the floor, as long as the chest stays open. And breathe. Exalt the warrior now, except now it's a triangle. So exalted triangle, front leg is straight, just like we did before, except the front leg is straight. Maybe we float the back hand. Breathe. And just back into warrior two, bending the front knee. Nice. Cartwheel the hands down inside the right foot and lizard lunge. Walk the right foot all the way out to the edge of your mat. Hands can stay here. You can stay off the back knee or drop down gently into the back knee. Lean forward into the hip flexor and let that foot open. So we have hip and hip flexor. If you'd like to come to elbows, it's a lot. So try maybe one at a time. And if that feels okay, maybe both. And here you're in the lizard lunge. From here, if you have any arm balance play or any other options, maybe you take a quad stretch. Or maybe you take an arm balance. That's again yogi's choice. I'll just demo one for a second. We'll learn that in another class. That's right, Lauren. 8 angles. Good job. And let's come back to down dog. Just nice, easy step back. Downward facing dog. Option here for child's pose to rest again. Option to take vinyasa or even push-ups. So yogi's choice. Do what needs to be done for your body. Then the left leg reaches and steps all the way up in between the hands. The back heel spins. We cartwheel open, warrior two. So knee and foot facing forward. Back foot is at 45 degrees. Shoulders and hips are open. Pump warrior one time. Reach up. Straight leg, straight arms, and back down, warrior two. Flip your palm, reach, and then exalt. Bring it up and back, maybe floating the back hand. Still bending into that front knee, and it's tracking over the pinky toe. Notice where the breath is. Notice if it's being caught up in the belly or caught up behind the chest or in the face, and really just let it flow. Come back to warrior two, just moving the arms. And then pump warrior one more time with a straight leg, coming into triangle, maybe stepping the back foot closer for triangle pose. So we're opening up, feeling the breath. Maybe floating the arms for more work. Try to keep the knee a little tiny bent here so we don't hyperextend it, but we're still opening shoulders and chest. And then exalting the triangle, reach back and up, feeling the side ribs, side body on the left side open, and breathe. We sink back to warrior two, pump warrior one time, and then cartwheel both hands down inside the left foot and walk the left foot out to the edge of your mat. Stay up on the back leg or perhaps take the knee down. We're not on the knee, we're leaning forward above the kneecap. And you're feeling hip flex or psoas right here and also hip right here. If it's a lot, then be careful, maybe even come off on a block. And if it's not enough, maybe you come down on one or two elbows. Again, whatever you tried on side one, you want to try on side two. So I did a quad stretch, reaching the left hand around for a right side quad stretch. Or maybe you take that arm balance if that's in your practice. But that's way, way past beginners. So don't even worry about that unless it's already part of your practice. We're going to step this back to downward face, lift up and just press back. Beautiful. Melt the chest. Bring the right foot through, rise up warrior two again. So we've been here before, except this time side angle pose. We're just going to tip this over with the leg bent. The hand can slide to the ankle or the elbow can be right on the thigh here. So we're bending into front knee, really lots of space in the body. I'm going to turn to the side here. So there's a lot of space, the hips are open. And then from here, we're going to exalt again. So just reach everything, stay low in the knee, but reach everything up and back. Feel the side body open here. And back to warrior two. Now from here, we'll either do a second side angle where we were before, or we'll take half moon. To take half moon, we lean forward, hand comes in front of the right foot and a little off to the side, and then we tip everything over. The leg reaches up. So either a second side angle, which we just did, or half moon. If you're in the half moon, maybe you try to float the bottom hand, or maybe you reach for a bind, or you're staying in that side angle pose. Really finding a lot of space. Beautiful. Once again, we come back to plank or tabletop and meet back in downward facing dog, either through vinyasa or not. Taking a moment here for the breath, let's all take a child's pose, knees down, hips on heels, forehead touches the earth, and we reach the hands out, maybe come on the fingertips. So here's the part of your practice that if you have something else that you're working on, to go ahead and take that. So if there is another balancing pose or an inversion or something else that's in your practice already, go ahead and take it. And if not, we're just going to enjoy this space to rest. So rest and breathe. And you might notice as the body stops moving that the mind starts to go all the way around the way it does. And so now more than ever, really work on that breath. Really work on noticing the breath, staying in the awareness of the breath. Beautiful. We'll meet back in downward facing dog for the left side when you're ready. And yogis, we're almost finished. We're almost there. So left side, step through warrior two. Side angle pose, elbow to knee, hand to earth, reach. Shoulders and hips are stacked. We're really open here in both the shoulders and the hips. Breathe. Again, if you have any variations here, Bird of Paradise or any others, and you want to take them, this is a good chance to put that in there. And if you're in a variation, stay with it. You can skip this Exalted Warrior. And let's come back up. The rest of us are going to come back up for the Exalted Warrior. Sink down low. Beautiful. Warrior two again. And option one was the second side angle, which is a beautiful option. And option two was the half moon, tipping it up and over. Your choice, right? Wherever you want to be is where you should be. And we breathe. Coming back up to warrior two just for a moment. And cartwheel the hands down. Stepping back to plank or downward facing dog. Look forward past your hands and walk your feet to the outside edges of your mat. And then maybe you take a squat here. Maybe you just take this forward fold hanging with the knees bent. Or maybe you squat down. Yogi's choice again, using the elbows to open out the knees. You can stay right here and breathe, or you can take crow pose if it's in your practice. Or if it's too much and you're not feeling this at all, this is where we're all going to end up anyway. Feet together, knees apart, butterfly. So practice whatever it is that you're working with in your practice. Inhale, lengthen, bring the chin past the toes, flat back breath, beautiful. Hip opener. And then maybe when you're ready, tuck the nose to the toes and hang into the posture. Beautiful. And when you're ready, come back up to seated. Draw the knees in together for a little hug in. Tuck your chin to your chest, forehead to your knees. It's called egg pose. Tiny little pose, egg pose. And then we'll lower down slowly. Feet are hip distance apart. We lower down slowly all the way to our back. And once we get there, let's just take a nice easy 10 or 15 crunches. And then 2 back bends of your choice, either half bridge or full wheel. So yogi's choice on the back bend. If you take the full wheel, go for it. If not, nice easy bridge. Hands come down, hips lift up, chin up off the chest, eye gaze straight up to the sky. You might want to take your hands and interlace them, but underneath you, and then roll to the outside edges. And then lift the hips, lift the chin, chest, look straight up. That's bridge pose. Or maybe full wheel. The hands come behind your shoulders and you lift up into full wheel pose. Take a few breaths here. And then gently release your hips. And then windshield wiper the knees to the right and to the left. Take a second back bend here of your choice. And then when you're finished with that second back bend, take a big, big, big good morning stretch. And then finding your final posture, Shavasana, hands to your belly or to the earth. Or maybe you take into a tiny little ball curled up. Or maybe you prefer to be seated. So yogi's choice here also. Whatever works for you is where I'd like you to be. I'm going to end seated. You end where you need to end. Wherever you are, come back to the breath. Notice the difference between the beginning of our practice and now. Come back to the awareness of the breath, the softness of the breath. After we move the body around a little bit, letting everything settle back down. And we breathe a normal, gentle, easy breath. Noticing again if thoughts are coming into the mind, allow them to gently drift away. Today's reading says, don't worry or fuss about what you're going to do tomorrow or how tomorrow's answers will even come. The way to get through a task, through a day, is to stay in the present moment. Racing, pushing, and trying to force things forward, it just doesn't work. Hurrying will not speed up the process or the journey. In fact, if you get ahead of yourself, you may find you need to go back and return to the parts you skipped over and go through it again, fully present and aware. Yes, there are times we need to press on, times we need to push a little bit more than others, but hurrying won't speed up the process. It will just keep you tense and out of step. To speed up the process, we need to fully immerse ourselves in every moment and focus our energy, our presence, our emotions, our thoughts, and our heart in that moment. So yogis, stay in the present moment. Listen to your heart right now. Be gentle and loving with yourself right now. If you stay in your heart and stay with yourself, and stay in the present moment, tomorrow's answers will come just as today's came, naturally, gently, and right on time. Yogis, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Until we meet again, peace, love, and light. Thank you so much.